So Angela, I'll hand over to you.
Thank you, Richard, and welcome everyone. I hope we're going to keep you awake. I know it's the last session in the afternoon, so please ask questions. I know Richard has a lot later on to keep it as interactive as possible. I just want to introduce you very briefly to Mubadala Petroleum. I would think most of you, or probably all of you, have not heard of us. We're a fairly small but upstream oil and gas exploration company. We are in Southeast Asia, where we have most of our operational assets. We're actually owned out of the Middle East, out of Abu Dhabi, but I'm focusing on, and that is really also my biggest task, on Southeast Asia, where we have operations here in Thailand, which is our biggest ones, in Indonesia, Malaysia, Vietnam, and we also have an office in Singapore. We are fairly young, and I don't know if anybody was in the sessions before. We are about 10 years old, so a young company. We have offshore operations, so our stakeholders are really communities around the coastal areas. In Thailand, that's around on the Gulf of Thailand. In Indonesia and others, we are also offshore. So our focus on the stakeholders is really on the communities, and a lot of times fishery associations, fishery communities where we work with. Our focus on CSR, and I would say I would call more community investment. We really work with the communities, is on education, and I will go into more details on this in a minute. But we're also focusing on community development and on the environment. We do quite a lot of environmental activities, in example here in Thailand on coral restoration. But all of these activities or projects we do, we always have an educational element to it, because we feel education is really important. So we'll try to educate the communities or get them involved in also on our environmental activities, for example. The focus I want to look at, and that is today's topic, is really on education. We do quite a lot of variety of educational projects, and that is from very small ones we do on the scholarship side, and that is not only obviously for underprivileged school children, but also on vocational and on university scholarships, all linked to, in a lot of ways, to fishermen and marine environment. We also do school facilities improvements, and we've done quite a lot of projects over the past few years on this, because it's important to have good facilities where you can actually provide a good learning environment. So we see that also as an educational aspect of it. The last project, or the last area, and that's where I'm going to go into a little bit more details, is a project we do with the Education Foundation of Thailand, EDF. A few of the colleagues are here today, which is a education-focused NGO. And we started to work together about 4 years ago, looking into an innovative approach for communities in southern Thailand. Those of you who might be familiar, southern Thailand, there's some security issues, but we also wanted to engage with communities where we didn't have all the connections. In some areas of Thailand, we have been around for longer, so we have built very close relationships with our own teams. We were looking for a little bit more of an innovative approach, and teamed up with EDF in a project which is not only bringing education, but also community involvement, community development together. The project consists of scholarships, school facility improvement, but most importantly, really, how do we involve through schools the community? A lot of the schools have now gone into agriculture, so there's some skill base where the students learn. They have their own green market, they have their own green, areas where they develop agriculture skills. Some is a frog farm, for example. They do frog farming at the school. So we're bringing skills into the communities and involving the communities. It is quite local. So we're not working with any international NGO, which is probably quite different from the previous sessions. But it's also something where we are broadening up and bringing in government entities and also working with government agencies and also with academics. So we're involving local universities and helping us doing a knowledge sharing session for the schools and the teachers, and they're putting the curriculum together. So partnership for us is involving a variety of areas, not only the NGOs, but also the government sector, very importantly, and also the academics. Very happy to go into more details later on if you have any other questions on that. Thank you.
Thank you, Angela.